Because anything else, all they have to say is what they are used to, which is tribe. So my point is, sisi Gen Z tulisema we are tribeless, Gen Z na millennials, you see. But sasa our parents, like these are hizo ma generations zingine azijui, like wamezoea, no, our parents. So those are the people that you are supposed to talk to them. Yeah, that's my submission.
Thank you very much, Shalby. Maybe let me ask, what would be your contribution towards the effects of tribalism in terms of before and right now? Would there be more aggression towards us wanting to go to the streets and fight? I know there are many demonstrations which are in plan. What is your contribution? Is it angering the Gen Zs enough that we are inclining towards a very tribal way? Maybe your contribution towards the same.
Okay. As I've said earlier, sisi Gen Z tulikuwa tumesema we are tribeless, you see. So nobody, hakuna mtu anasema mimi ni Mkikuyu. Sisi wote tuko hapa kwa space. Hakuna mtu anasema mimi ni Mkikuyu nini hivyo, si ndio? So the like tukienda streets, like hiyo revolution inakam, hakuna mtu anasema I'm from this tribe and this tribe. Mission ni moja. Ruto must go. Like regime zima. No. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're supposed to follow his Prince. You can unmute and give your comments.
Hello everyone, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, Doctor, thank you for the opportunity, but niko kwa barabara bado niko like 10 minutes away nifike home, so unaweza pata the next speaker alafu nikifika niteke tafadhali.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll get back to you. Maxwell?
No, niko held up kidogo.
Okay. Sawa. Kenny's?
Yes, Dr. Darwin, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Go on.
Okay, thank you so much. So, I wish to begin with saying that I believe we are dealing with this whole issue of tribalism and how we can solve the issue of going tribal in our fight to remove these people from power. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go on. Kindly, if I give you speaker, drop put on mute. We can hear you. We can continue, Kenneth.
Okay, thank you, sir. I wish to state the following. First of all, let me begin by saying that we must accept the fact that as Kenyans, we have various tribes. So we cannot do away with this topic of tribes in Kenya. And our tribes forms our foundation. Our tribes are our origins. And automatically we just found ourselves in those tribes. No one chose to be a Kikuyu or a Luo or any other tribe. Just found ourselves in these tribes. And since independence, for quite a long time now, most of these politicians, they have known that indeed, we all of us as Kenyans cherish our tribes. So they know that's a soft spot for most of us. And because politicians are good at whipping emotions, they like touching where our emotions are, and that is in our own tribes. Like for example, myself, I'm a Kikuyu. Literally, sincerely speaking, after this whole dramatic removal of office of one Rigathi Gachagua, the former DP, sincerely speaking, even if I may be learned, I may be civilized, I also find myself almost being biased towards sympathizing with Rigiji. It's quite unfortunate, but that's a fact. So to thus far, I think it would be better if we can try having something, a different strategy. We start thinking of development. We can focus our fight on development because development doesn't know any tribe. We have 47 counties in Kenya, and each county receives money each year for development and provision of services to citizens. If, for example, we can be proactive in the sense that, for example, right now we are in the financial year 2024-25, and just to inform you that counties have not received even a single penny of their monies for this current financial year. Reason being, we don't have a DORA, nor do we have a CARA. Yet, counties had formed their budgets and nothing is going on there. Everything has ground to a halt. And now we are here discussing tribal politics about our tribes. And because this is where our emotions are, basically. But what we need to do, we just need to have a change of strategy. We focus on development, we focus on service delivery. Let's hold our leaders to account in terms of service delivery. What service have they delivered to us so far? I really support Morara Kebaso'S work and the Vampire Diaries he has been providing us in all the counties he has been to. But I feel, I beg to differ in, of course, opinion with him, slightly different, in that I feel what Morara is currently doing is what Auditor General does, literally. You're just going to the ground, exposing those stalled projects where money was stolen long ago. They are just mere skeletons, which don't have anything new, any money. Yani, tuna expose zile miradi ambazo pesa ilishaporwa kitambo. Yeah? Yet we can be proactive because we cannot, literally, we just can't change the past. But the future, the current, the present, and the future, we have control over. So why don't we be proactive? For example, we begin with this current financial year, 2024-25. Because me, what I know, or what's a fact, basically, is that most of these developed countries, talk of US, United Kingdom, France, Germany, all those countries, what is common with them is their citizens are super proactive. They are super sensitive and super knowledgeable. They hold their leaders to account directly in relation to service delivery and development. Yes, am I audible?
Yes. Yes. You can wind up. Yeah.
Okay, as I wind up. So what I'm trying to say in short, we need, if possible, this is just my humble suggestion, that we can have a change of strategy whereby we now, because now the leaders are good at focusing on tribes. When we focus on tribes every now and then, we can never move forward. But when we focus, for example, on development, we have a budget each and every financial year. We say, for example, this current budget, for example, my home county, Morara, they had set out to build, say, for example, a bridge, a footbridge, or some few classrooms, ECD classrooms. Have they done so? Yes or no? We can follow up. There is a quarterly report released by the Controller of Budget, report on implementation of budget. We can be proactive using such kind of government document. There's also the report of, I think, the monthly statement released by the National Treasury, the statement of actual revenues and net exchequer issues. That is what really speaks the truth about how government is spending our money. And with that, we can be focused on it, and we cannot be swayed by this whole issue of whipping emotions, talking tribal politics, or at don't cheer Uhuru, don't cheer Rigiji. Uhuru, we know, yes, Uhuru is a thief. Uhuru stole a lot of money, even with his deputy Ruto, the former deputy. Even Rigiji is not a saint. That we know, but when we bring this whole issue down to politics, the politics of tribe, it is really becomes very easy to whip emotions because we all belong to a particular tribe. So there's, and that's a fact, and we cannot change that. It all goes back to our origins anyway, and our ancestry. So if we focus on development, we can really avoid or do away with that whole issue of going back to tribes. I think my humble submission will be
Just
that.
excuse me, Kenis, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes?
I was just listening. I've been listening to many speakers.
Yes.
I've not commented, but on yours, I want to comment. Huh? When you say that we should not focus on recovery
Yes.
of corrupt proceeds, then are we saying that you can still, as long as you are able to leave office safely, then you will not be asked to return whatever you've stolen? You can grab 10,000 acres of land. You can steal 100 billion from Ministry of Wealth. You can maybe steal 10 billion from the county, but as long as you are able to retire without, being caught, then it's okay. Since you come from a particular tribe, we will not follow you up because it will bring problems with your tribe. Is that what you are trying to say? And when you say that we should focus on development, how will we do this development with corruption? Shouldn't we stop corruption first before we continue with the development? In fact, if you ask me if I was made president of Kenya, the first 1 year or 2 years, I would not do any development. I would first begin with recovering whatever has been stolen over the years. So are you saying we should forgive everybody who has stolen and focus on the development without resources for development and the development which is based on corruption? What are you saying?
So we just lost Kenny's, who had brought up issue that we need to pick a few of these to concentrate on. About the problems facing us, it really needs a multi-pronged approach. People should be accountable for their deeds. Leaders should be brought to account. kama mtu alikuwa kwa serikali akatumia kiti chake vibaya, akaibia wananchi pesa, hiyo inafaa irudishwe back to the citizens. And he spoke about we should not look at tribal politics. What's killing this country really is the tribal politics, is how the leaders are dividing us in on the grounds of tribal, differentiating Pokomo with a Luya, differentiating a Luo with a Kikuyu, making each of these tribes, which is our blessing, to appear as though it's our curse. I don't know. Freedom, that is Laban or Itai. You can take over. Laban or Itai.
Kindly just give the mic to someone else. I have some commitment I need to.
Okay, sawa Laban. Sam Simwa. Sam Simwa. Prince Baha. Moshemie, Jerry, you can speak up.
Hi,
Karibu Moshemie.
asante. Morara, we thank you for hosting this forum. I'm a big supporter, I'm a big fan, but I want to take a completely different perspective on the issue of tribalism. Tribalism is actually, if we look at it critically, it's not the problem. The problem is sisi wenyewe. If you go to your ground, hospitali yako ya nyumbani, uko Kisii, Kirinyaga, wherever, who are the doctors and who are the nurses? Or even your primary schools, sisi wenyewe. Who sends you away when you don't have money for treatment? Or we don't have money for education? Ni sisi wenyewe. Tribalism inatumika kutugawanisha. It's a ploy to cover up the real stuff. The real stuff ni sisi wenyewe ndio tunajiharibia nchi. If all offices are occupied by Kalenjin and they deliver, nikienda immigration, apply passport, niipate, I'm not going to complain because I want my taxes to work for me irrespective of who the person in the office is. Personally, originally ni Mkikuyu, and I don't see the benefit of having 3 presidents in power. Hospitali ya Kirugoya haifanyi kazi, hospitali different, barabara hazijatengenezwa despite having a Kikuyu president. But problem ni nini? Problem ni sisi wenyewe. I had the doctor talk, that doctor from Sijui which hospital, and he said that Chief Shah is failing. But ukifikiria, in reality, these doctors and nurses, who are us, who are not even Ruto huko juu. Mwanamke amekuja hospitali kuzaa, hana pesa, Chief Shah haifanyi. But who sends that person away? Is it Ruto? Is it Gachagua? Is it Uhuru? Until we look internally, tutaendelea kukuwa na excuses za ukabila. Ukabila is just a ploy by the people in upper class kutuganisha so that they can be able to get the seat. But the real problem is us. If we don't condemn what is really happening kwa ground, hakuna mahali tunaenda. Hata sahi Morara ukikuwa president and we are supporting you, and the people within your government are not working. The civil servants ni sisi ndio ma civil servants. We are the doctors, we are the nurses, we are the teachers, we are the engineers. Hata barabara we cannot audit barabara venye imetengenezwa. Kama imetengenezwa vizuri tunalipa, we double. For instance, Morara can recover the money of corruption very easily. Somebody in an office somewhere signed off the purchase order. Somebody signed kalamu ya one were valued at 20 shillings or 50 shillings, akainunua kalamu moja at 100,000. Somebody ameka sahihi na mwingine akaeka check. We have people who can be arrested, but for as long as hakuna hiyo mapenzi ya kutaka kubadilisha the system inside, from inside, tribalism ni kidonda tu iko juu, is just one of the symptoms, but the biggest problem ni sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe kama Mkenya. Ati saa hii nikitaka usaidizi mimi mwenyewe tu, I take my sweet time. I know I'm next yeah, I'm supposed to be going to another country. I need a passport, 1 month to travel. Ninakimbia immigration. We create our own problems. I'm going to give you an example. I live in the US, and probably I'm talking from a point of privilege where services are done to Nasavio. Everything works. Regardless, after Trump akiwa president, it's going to continue working. Biden now a president, everything works. And people are so patriotic. I cannot go to an office and bribe somebody for something. Nothing. That person who's seated behind the desk will report me for attempting to bribe them. Until we become patriotic enough to demand proper services from the people we employ with our taxpayer money, because wale watoto wenye wako kwa serikali, they get their money from us. When we pay the tax, wanatoa mshahara yao kwa pesa yetu. If we don't get accountability, tutaendelea na kudanganyana. Problem ni ukabila, but problem ni sisi wenyewe, sisi kwa sisi. Ati hatuwezi kusaidia mtu kwa sababu amekuja hospitali. No, it's not a computer that is doing this. Sio Mjaluo ananifukuza Kerugoya Hospital, ni Mkikuyu mwenzangu ananifukuza Kerugoya Hospital. Ndio tutaanza kusema we like to protect ourselves on issue ya ukabila. We hide behind ukabila, yet it is not really ukabila. Shida ni sisi wenyewe. Until we take that ukabila thing away from us and start concentrating on things like what Morara is doing, going round to the ground, Amenda Kwale. Those people are taxpayers like any other person. But ukiangalia hospitali dilapidated to the ground, as in I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then it has been that way for the last 6 years. I do not like this regime. I do not like anything about it. I do not like even the past regimes either. But Morara uko na support yetu 100% with what you're doing, but tribalism is there, yes. But when you put tribalism as hapo mbele, some people get defensive. It's a mechanism to defend the wrongs that we are doing. We apportion the blame to something else so that we don't see what the problem really kwa ground iko. I don't have much to say, ni hiyo tu ndio nilikuwa nasema. Asante.
All right, so before she goes, Moshemi said, Jerry Moshemi from the US said, I'm going to disagree with Morara. Then when she went ahead to speak, she ended up agreeing with me.
Yes,
I was waiting for her to disagree. Then she agreed on everything I've been saying, because Jerry, whatever you've just said is what I've been saying. I've been saying this, and let me say it in different. I'll just say the same thing you've said, but in different words. I will say this. Kama wewe ni muuza maziwa na unawekanga maji kwa maziwa ili ikue mingi, if you're made an MCA, you will steal more than Ruto. Kama wewe ni makanga wa matatu na unapewa thao, una insist umenipea 200 because you don't want to return change. Ukipewa kazi utakuwa mwizi kuliko William Ruto. Kama wewe ni kazini ya Mushemi in the US na amekutumia pesa umnunulie shamba ama nyumba, ama wewe ni sister na umeiba hiyo pesa, If given a chance, wewe utaiba SGR na utaiba super highway and everything else. So then bad behavior begins with us. We have to clean up our society before we even blame the leaders. Yes.
Morara, it is a cultural thing. Ati mtu anaweza enda kwa ofisi asubuhi aweke koti and then steps out of the office and goes and does other things on payroll. You know, it is very, very annoying. And people take it, wanafunika, wanasema ni kwa sababu ni kabila fulani, ndio kwa sababu hao ndio wameandikwa kwa ofisi. Sio kabila, huo ni mtu. Whoever signs an LPO is an individual. Whoever provides services is an individual. The policies are there. If they really work the way they're supposed to work, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Pole, nimekuinterrupt, ama?
No, I've just agreed with you. It's okay. Thank you.
Yes, it is the individual. And yes, Morara, you can recover the money. It can be recovered. It can be recovered 100%. And if we can just focus and not look at tribe, where I come from, because that is a given. Where I come from, it's my number one. I know mimi ni Mkikuyu number one. But ni Ukikuyu inaiba ama ni mimi. Until we focus, until we move from that way of thinking, I can tell you for sure, hatutabadilika. Hatutabadilika. And Kikuyus for sure, they're emotional voters. And as right now, mi wale nimeongea na, wanasema hata hatutaki kitu yoyote. We have had 3. We have had 3 presidents and nothing is happening. Let somebody else take it. Anybody else achukue hiyo kitu. Hatuitaki. Hitakikani. If you go to the ground, that is all they are saying. If I talk to my people at home, that is what they are telling me. Hatutaki kiti. Morara apewe ama mtu mwingine apewe, tuone kama tutabadilisha system. It's a systemic problem and it is created purposely to keep people poor and to keep people begging forever. If you beg, nikupatia 500 sahi, utanipatia kura. I mean, ask yourself, 1 million shillings, mshahara ya 1 million. Why do people take loan? Ndio ende akapate mshahara tu ya 1 million. Anakupatia 500, anaspend 500. It's because they're going to get more from contract. Why should a Kalamu? I always give example of Kalamu. Kalamu nikienda supermarket that I can buy for 100 shillings. Government buys it at 1,000. Nikiona kinasudi wakipanda na magunia ya pesa, ninashindwa hizi pesa zinatoka wapi? Kuna watu wako hospitali. I recently lost an in-law because of this shift shopping nonsense that hawezi tibiwa mpaka alipe pesa in advance. I mean, it's sad, very, very sad that we are basing our arguments on other things. Morara, just keep doing what you're doing. You're vampire. Sina hata ya kusema, just keep doing what you're doing and sisi tutaendelea na kukusupport 100%. We love your call. That is it. Niachie watu wengine waongee. Asante.
Asante Moshemi. Very true. What we are saying here is, and which we really agree with you, is the problem is not macro. It does not start at the door. It starts in the house. So before we get out of the door, then we have to correct the paradigm thought, the individualistic paradigm. Get to our people, tell them this is how the politicians want to manipulate our thought processes. And I think that is that's what my brother Morara is doing by educating the masses, telling them that if you think this person who comes from your tribe loves you, then you can imagine how much they are stealing from you to just make themselves better at the cost of your suffering. So we want our people to be educated, to know, to be sensitized Afadhali uibiwe ukijua inaibwa kushinda uibiwe na ujui inaibwa na unapigia makofi ule mwizi kwa maana tu haujui anakuibia. So the essence of these forums are to just sensitize. It's all of us joining hands together. I've read in the comment box and in the comments and someone is saying it's about us joining hands. And indeed, how can we do it better by joining hands? We can do it better by sensitizing those ones who do not know. Let the information reach them. They may not know unless they are informed that they know. The beauty of this country is in our diversity. That is why a person will come from the US to come and see a Maasai jump with their speaker, their spears, and see the cultures of the Maasai people. That is why a person will want to travel to Nyanza and enjoy fish from the Luo community, or go to Western Kenya and eat ugali and mrenda from the Luya community. The beauty is in our diversity. What have the politicians done to us? They have turned the diversity to be the poison, to be the chalice. Actually, they have created, they have looked at our beauty and decided to misuse it to corrupt the beautiful thing that God gave this country, and that is in our diversity of our culture and of our tribe. And that is why this space is going on. We are saying no to any politician who will divide us basing on our tribal origin. Hata akuje through the podium ya kanisa, ama akuje through messages za local messages and local forums. Some are using chiefs. The fact of the matter is our tribes are our unifying factor. Our cultures are what makes Kenya to be a beautiful country. But politicians will not change this narrative to favor them, and that is why we are here. Let me welcome Pareno Solonka. Take the mic.